So, hey, I know I said we wouldn't do more KitchenAid videos, but this one is actually for a paying customer, and
Wow, open for business.
Since I have to unload a few of the machines, I think I really should do this, especially since this morning I bought another one. But this new one I bought, this will also be a video because this is a bowl lift machine, and it is one of the older ones that actually has an off switch if you lower the bowl from working position. The motor switches off automatically. And that's why I bought it, because there was a feature I really wanted to see. But first, this one.
Okay, so this is one that's not currently working.
This is the one that's
and what's your diagnostic, doctor?
Let's see. This is doing nothing.
Okay.
If you switch it on, even if it's plugged in. And this is not the worst of our problems, because most of the time doing nothing just means that the brushes of the motor are worn out. I explained what brushes are for. Do we need a reminder?
Please.
Okay. This uses what's called a universal motor, because it's so widespread. And the universal motor is two components which both produce an electric field. There's a part that's static, which is why it's called a stator, which is just a big electromagnet which produces a field that's oriented this way, north and south, or the other way around. And it's a moving part which is called the armature. And the armature also produces a magnetic field, which is in its default position orthogonal to the other one. And since opposite poles attract, the pole up here will be drawn to the other magnetic pole from the stator. And this is how the armature moves. So if this were always in the same position, then the armature would move around and look. That would not be very useful. So when this moves, the contact is broken, and the armature has a series of coils. And depending on which coil receives current, the magnetic field will be moved from coil to coil. And so it will always stay up here, because it's always another coil that's magnetized. But the thing will rotate because it's always drawn to the magnetic pole. So, and to transfer current to the moving part, this is called a commutator, and this is separated in different bars. And the commutator bars slide along these brushes, which is why they sit on springs. So, and this transfers current to the moving part, alternating to the different commutator bars, so that, as it moves, always the upright coil gets magnetized. And since this, in Germany, this is called Kohlen, which is coal in English, which literally, but actually means carbon, because these are graphite, I think. And most of the time, when the thing stops working completely, it's just the brushes, which is convenient because the brushes are the cheapest.
Yeah, I always make this comment. When you're fixing these things, it always seems like such a small price to pay to replace it, when most consumers would probably dispose of their KitchenAid, when the fix is of such a small monetary value.
Yes, I mean, if it's the brush, so if it doesn't move, you can replace the brushes, because that's those things you can screw out with a coin, and this is €3.50 or something for the brushes. But as soon as you need to open this up, you need to be a bit confident to
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
and take out the screws and hope you get it back together again. If you give it to a professional, he would charge you at least €70 for even opening up, and then depending on what the actual damage is. And then you have paid €70, plus you need to bring it to the shop and get it back.
Yeah.
For a used machine, it's just cheaper, I guess, to throw it away. So with these brushes, you need to be careful because they have certain orientation. You see there's this, okay, but these actually look pretty new. So either they are set in the wrong way. No, but that looks good. So it might be something more serious than brushes. Yeah, this one looks good, so I'll put it back in. If they're worn out, they get shorter and shorter, so you can tell if it's too short. And this is not too short. You see, even the new ones are shorter than the ones that are actually in there because this is a third party. But you see here's a kind of an edge, and this needs to meet the proper orientation in the brush holder, or else it will not work. This one was actually correct, so I hope that maybe the other one sits in the wrong orientation. Because if not, then there is an actual electrical issue, which would require more work. And we would like to work here. Problem is, it's really hard to see. You know, somewhere in there is a little knob that needs to meet this surface. But I cannot actually see it. But I now have actual reading glasses. Because I know. Or it means you are in need of certain luxury, but with any luck, it actually means you can also afford them. So. I have no idea. No, we will just, I mean, it's only for personal orientation, so we will just try. Because if that's not an issue, then we need to take it apart a bit more, which we were planning to do anyway.
So the easiest solution would be it's the brushes.
That's the first thing to check, because it doesn't take very long. It's also the most likely problem. Nope. But sometimes it might actually be something else. I mean, not done yet. We have still. I cannot. It's very difficult to see the actual, how this needs to be located. So I will now just do a trial and error and insert it in different positions. So this changes something. But does not change anything. If it's not the brushes, then it's actually a bit of a mystery. Because usually the machines do at least something. And this machine is doing nothing at all. No.
Okay.
Should we have one more position, or at least let me get it back in the original? Okay. It's probably something more serious. Which leaves us two choices. We can now start disassemblies and see if we can find problems, or we can just get another machine because I have another back.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's at least have a look.
Yeah.
I mean, this might not be the nicest one in any case because this has so many scratches, and you can't really fix the paintwork. Okay, You can either repaint the whole machine, or but you cannot really touch this up. And repainting the whole machine, either you do it yourself and then it looks shit, or you do it to professional and then it sticks. Oh, I think I see the problem.
Okay.
Okay, this is nothing to be fixed today.
Okay.
Because this needs a new wire. And I think this is actually coming from the motor, so it's not something that can be. Okay, this should be going there, so probably.
So it's a loose wire, really?
It's not just a loose wire, it's the contact is missing.
So you would have to order it.
I probably have a spare somewhere, but I need a soldering iron, I'm not sure. Since as you might have noticed, my apartment is a little bit of a mess.
Well, it would definitely make a great part 2.
Yes, but it does not solve the problem of wanting to sell it.
Okay.
Actually, we'll have to. We could do part 2 when the other machines that I ordered this morning comes, because this is actually the same machine.
Okay.
The same wire.
Did you say you had another black one?
I have another black one, and we will fetch that one and see if we can get that one. Because this is just, for the moment, more than I have thought before. I mean, right now I can't get even better. Get the look backwards. So that's something. You should not do electric work if you cannot. Get this thing apart. I tend to exaggerate a little with the dangers of electric work, which is the reason being that I grew up in old houses. So there are basically 2 ways things with electricity can go wrong.
Yeah.
So all these little electrons, they don't get lost. They come out one side of the outlet and go in the machine, and then some energy is transferred, and then they go back in the other part of the outlet. Two problems with that. One possible problem is that current is going the way it should, but too much of it. If the machine is a short, and comes its power back into the outlet. And for that you have fuses. And obviously we have fuses in the 17th year when I grew up. So that was not a problem. But the other way is that the current does not actually go back into the outlet, but goes back some other way. For example, if some stupid person tries to fix kidney.
Aren't you supposed to wear rubber soles?
No, that's no longer necessary, because now we have ground protection switches in the fuse boxes.
Oh, okay.
So if current goes through a wire, there's an electric field around the wire. And if current does not go through the wire, but through a stupid person infection, then the magnetic field around the wire collapses, and there's a relay in the fuse box that detects that, and then it will turn off the current. And it works fast enough so that you do not get electrocuted.
That's reassuring to know.
In any home that's up to code, it's actually quite unlikely to kill yourself with electricity. That's not an encouragement to try. Don't
endorse that.
No, I cannot endorse it. I always pretend this might kill me. But here it won't, because the installation here is actually quite long. when we moved in here from years ago, this was the original installation from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is that black?
no, that's brown.
Okay.
Brown is not white. The guy who wants the machine does not want a white machine.
Ah, okay.
The brown machine is also
More KitchenAid, right? Okay.
Wie lange brauchst du den denn? Ich benutze den nicht. So. So, you're still filming?
Yes, yes. You kept the camera rolling. It was quite a moment.
What's the name?
Very neighbourly of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. When we moved in, this was all the original wiring from the 60s, and since everything here was gas powered, the heat and the water and stuff and everything, I did not think I had actually much need for electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a single fuse and a single circuit, and that was shipped because that was really dangerous if you put too much load on a single wire.
Yeah, I lived in a pre-50s building and I wanted to change the lamp. And when I looked online, the wires were slightly different. So I didn't go any further forward.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So we had everything ripped out and replaced with something optical. It was hellishly expensive. We had originally hoped for something like 2,000 euros for the wiring, and it turned out to be 8,500.
Yeah.
Which is a bit more. But at least I have reduced it.
Well, yeah, at least you're not going to explode in a ball of fire. That's what
okay, here's actually this is working, but it's making strange noises. This is the notch outside. So no electric work with any hope, but grease.
Okay.
Which will be very dirty, but it is still very complicated.
Do you have your gloves, Eike?
Gloves somewhere? No. But for this assembly, I will use gloves after this assembly. So there comes the magic moment where we start hitting our kitchen into the wall.
Yeah, this is my favourite moment.
Cover 4. I mean, would you be comfortable on the subject of could you do this yourself? Would you be comfortable?
Oh, me personally?
Yeah.
God no.
That's the trick. That's why KitchenAid is still in business, because if all people would just do proper maintenance and annexes, they would never sell it because there's no.
They should do what Apple did and say that your warranty is void if you touch it yourself.
They probably do. I wouldn't know. I never bought it. I mean, my wife gave me a new one from our wedding anniversary, which is treasured and everything, which I fixed, of course. But it was the only new one here. So I'm not sure. I know they shortened the warranty recently, a few years back. if it doesn't budge, then just hit it harder. What's the wheel? It's not a great way making schnell pressure because this is stuck. And without removing this, you cannot remove this piece underneath there. Not because this, you know, there are a lot of design decisions that make maintenance harder than it should be. Usually that thing should come out. What happened instead was that this thing bent. So what's happening today? I don't really want to scratch the taint. I hope that this will help. Probably not. I'm not sure. No, this doesn't even stick for some reason. I mean, and since you mentioned that everything seems so cheap, keep in mind that this bit, for example, is 11 euros.
Oh yeah,
Which is a lot of money for a very small bit. Actually, most bits are quite expensive. The occasional affordable spare part should not detract. That's what it's called, the planetary. That's actually not bad. I think now we get to the part where I should start with your gloves. Okay, there you can see part of the problem, which is why it sounds odd. Because this is turned into a liquid. This should not be liquid.
That's the grease, right?
That is part of the grease, the other part is still stuck in the machine. But this should not be liquid, this should be actual greasy stuff. The thing is, it needs to be on the gears to do its work. And if it's liquid, then it just runs off and goes into the machine. So. But we were actually quite good for this. bottom left row. Actually, these are not even baby wipes, these are medical wipes, which are horrendously expensive. But if you have to have that wipe, then left a lot of stuff behind. You can waste them. Okay, I will. Here's a little circlip, and I will fetch a prong to get this out so I can remove the gear. But this will also mean we have to open up the rest of the machine because the grease there will. Circuit pliers. I have these little prongs. And if all goes well, they're about the correct size. Then we can get rid of this little hole. Then we can spread this open and pull the circlip off and hope that it doesn't fly away. Because KitchenAid will charge you another 10 euros for it. Which is not really a problem because this is just a generic circlip. You can buy this for a few cents somewhere. But probably not on a Saturday afternoon. And these are a bit counterintuitive because they open when you squeeze them, and I expect this always to go the other way.
Yeah, you're like flying right up is down and down.
To a point like not too fast.
Yes, we're well into the cursing. I mean, the big question is this video safe for children?
This is fucking easy.
That's
Are we talking about the children who see fictional mass murder on a daily basis?
Well, yeah, that's children's quite Western children, I think.
But I think violence is okay. Just you can murder people. You can not curse at them.
Just don't swear. No, it's a whole thing on YouTube. When you upload a video, there's a big question: is this safe for children? It's quite an interesting question.
What is these days? We did buy kitchen tissue.
There we can use.
Oh, I see it's there in front of us. What makes this wipes so effective is that they are drying with detergent, which just means that the detergent sticks to the piece they're trying to keep. Before we forget how this works. Oops. That's not so clever. So there's a little pin, and there's this is where this is located in the gear, so the gear doesn't move around, but moves in. Correct. field. Not sure how exciting this video will be. It's like like the rings of power.
Yeah.
So explaining for 30 minutes instead of showing. I mean, Tolkien would probably have been flattered from a lot of exposition. I don't think he has a problem with words.
No, definitely not. I'm not sure what he would have thought of the Amazon series though.
I would have thought this of everything. If you do a book on how much you miss the old times where everything was more rural and you will not be happy with any TV series.
Yeah, true.
Probably think that TV itself is something that should. If it was not invented during your childhood, then it's probably what of the devil.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, Amazon pretty much is Sauron.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic, really.
Democratize the talent here. They're now watching everybody.
Yeah. The industrialization of the shires is nothing compared to what's happening now.
It has its enjoyable things.
Yeah. I'm speaking from a token perspective, not a personal one.
I know also speaking from a personal perspective. Part of my youth trying to talk about capitalism, but capitalism won, and now I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, it's the LCDs could go to the undying lens or something.
Yeah.
It's I've personally not tried to emigrate, but there are a few people who went abroad to distant countries only to realize that the people there actually have no patience or understanding if you go around and say, oh, I wanted to flee the comforts and the safety of my homeland and settle somewhere where food is scarce and the weather is always too hot.
Yeah.
So you think you're crazy. And they might have a point. That's the thing. Capitalism might be horrible in its consequences, but it's quite pleasant if you're part of it.
Yeah.
A part of it in its day-to-day applications. So that looks good. What's the long journey from KitchenAid to?
Yeah. Well, these things they're never as straightforward as they seem.
No. I mean, KitchenAid is an ideal representative of capitalism because the original machines were solid and indestructible because they did not know how to make it any other way. And as soon as they had worked out how to use mediocre materials.
Well, we've all got to protect our profit margin, haven't we?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm complaining about. Or not even complaining.
Well, the only other alternative is to make the machines more expensive. In KitchenAid's defence, I mean, the price of materials must go up. So they have an unfortunate choice of either making the KitchenAid more expensive or making it with inferior parts because they're cheaper.
I don't think they're cheaper.
Or they're just money grabbing B words. So there's three possible theories there as to why this is so.
Yeah, Eike with the money.
Yeah.
And C words and various other letters of the alphabet. Still nice machines.
Or as my grandma used to say, they're very naughty men. I think that's safe for YouTube.
Does not cover my full emotional capacity.
Yeah, if you swear within the first 30 seconds, or if you use any language that is flagged by YouTube, you are unmonetized. Therefore, you can't sell advertising on the video.
Which we cannot do.
No, because we need to have 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 10,000 hours of views.
Well, only 900.
Yeah. So watch out in 2030 when we launch our YouTube partner program.
Yeah. We name ourselves to KitchenAid.
Sponsored by KitchenAid. Although, can you imagine if we were sponsored by KitchenAid, how we'd have to change the way we do this? I mean, you could not certainly complain about the parts; they wouldn't be happy with that. You would have to reframe it and say, they used to be old-fashioned and use metal, but now they're using plastic, which is far more lightweight, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I have a day job.
Yes. Well, there's nothing wrong with thinking big.
I don't know. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, to get to
if you want to make it big, you have to invest a lot more time into.
You need a
professional editing and everything, and you cannot just.
I mean, you need a studio, definitely, with lights. You need like real microphones, and you really need. Yeah, I think for me, the camera's not so bad. The iPhone is actually pretty sharp to say it's a camera phone, but to get to that level, you have to have another studio.
That's not really the issue. I mean, I have 8 square meters. I have a whole room I could convert into a studio, but then making videos would be about making videos and not about sitting around and filming.
Yeah, I mean the content is there. I think that there's no problem with the content. It's just the execution.
Yeah, but I like fixing KitchenAids, and I do not mind if somebody films me when I do that. I would not like to seek out objects to renovate.
I mean, ironically, this is what YouTube was made for back in 2005. Like YouTube, I mean, it's there in the name. It was just people who had hobbies and wanted to film themselves and share it with the community. It's only in the last 10 to 5 years where it's become such a huge money-making.
That's really the condition. If I could make money of it without changing, it's just not. It's like writing. I'm a decent writer, and at some point in my life, I imagined maybe I could do something like that. Then I wrote a book which started very well and got worse and worse because I discovered that writing a book is just incredible tedious work.
Yeah.
For almost no chance to get published, and even if you get published,
you can get published on Kindle.
Quite unlikely to make it in my hand. And to put up that amount of work without any particular reward, that's not something I would do.
Yeah, well, these things, if you go into something for money, you have to have a different mindset as to doing something for fun.
And I have a mindset of doing things for money. That's why I have a day job, which I try to execute in a decent fashion.
To the ether. So now we are catching up with Eike, So let me give you a catch up as to where we were. So Ike was fixing a black KitchenAid for a potential client. Ike ascertained that there may be a problem with the brush. He tried to fix it. Unfortunately, the issue was a little deeper than simply replacing the brush. Once he opened it up, he realized there was a missing, the wire wasn't connected, or there was a missing, in the first one we had, when you open the back, you realized that there was a part that was missing.
There was a connector.
Yeah.
I couldn't plug the wire back on where it belonged because the connector was ripped off. So.
Therefore, Eike replaced the KitchenAid for another one he had in his archives. Not completely black, it's more of a dark chocolate brown. But his client, so Eike is now expanding to take on clients now, wanted a KitchenAid that wasn't white. So dark chocolate is fine.
Not exactly like, it's funny. I have a dozen or so of these things, which is more than any reasonable person could eat. I can use maximum 2 or 3 or 4 at once. And I need to get rid of the rest because this is taking up a lot of space. A friend of mine wants to give her boyfriend a KitchenAid for Christmas, but the new one is just too expensive, and this will be a lot cheaper. And since I'm doing maintenance on it, it will not be much worse than that. Probably better than a new one, frankly, in some respects. So we have already cleaned this part here. This is called the planetary. This is actually one part of the planetary. The actual planetary bit is this tooth thing in here. It's called the planetary because this is moving around in an orbit. And I've already removed the screws. What happened here is what happens to most KitchenAids. If they stand around too long, the grease in there is separated into solid and liquid parts, and the liquid parts seep out, which is very gross because it's oil basically, and not an animal kind of oil. And it also means that the grease doesn't grease anymore. So that's why this thing is making strange noises. It's just you have to replace the grease before friction damages the gears in the machine. And this is not difficult if you are confident in hitting your machine with a hammer because you need to drive a few pins out. But it's very messy because it's grease. So I've already removed the screws in here, and we've removed this one. This should be everything that holds the upper part on this. Yeah, and I think you now can see what I mean. Yeah. This is
oh wow,
the attachment over here, and I should probably have removed the wires. Because now I have to balance this in one hand. Yeah. Always remove the wires before you. But I don't really want to. Can I somehow avoid this? Because plugging is big. So annoying. I guess I have to. Oops. Yeah, you see, professionals at work. It might have been a better idea to remove this before, but you can't take everything. Yeah, but you can see how this is no longer solid grease, but it's very liquidy.
So does it just expire over time? Or?
Yes.
So whomever had this first didn't replace the grease?
No, replacing the grease is, as I said, very messy. you know, the people I bought this from just said, "Oh, this is making strange noises."
Right.
So we will get rid of it before it breaks completely. If you're not comfortable with doing this yourself, it might be quite expensive. I saw one offer on the internet where a company said they can replace a machine for 70 euros, and you have to get it to the shop, which either means packing it up and sending it in, which will be quite expensive, or it means a lot of hurrying around to go to the shop and stuff. And if this is a machine that's a few years old, then you might just say, well, that's not bad. Especially if the machine did not meet your expectations, which might very well be, because the KitchenAid is a great machine if you work a lot with dough, especially stuff that needs to be moved, because that's what it's made for. But as a universal kitchen machine that also is this dicing and slicing and all the stuff you expect, it's not very good, because the attachments are very expensive and not necessarily great. So if you want an all-round kitchen machine, you probably would not buy a KitchenAid. Why am I taking this off? It's already finished. So, and now, well, now we need to start. Okay, most of the gross stuff is in the lower part. Okay, and yeah, that was not so good. And the gasket actually broke. That's something I've never seen before.
Blew a gasket.
Yeah. I mean, it's we have a spare, so this will not be a problem. But that's quite unusual.
Oh.
They do not rip because there's no pressure or anything. So maybe I just stripped it accidentally when I found it around here. Well, one way or the other. That's garbage. So from now on, it will be very boring and very messy. We already did the Rings of Power joke, right? Yeah. Now let's get this out.
I have a theory that it could be my deleted items because I was definitely watching the time because I could see at the top it tells you how long you've been filming for, and I remember thinking it's been 35 minutes. So I think it's gone in my deleted items because there wasn't enough room on my phone.
We have to clean this, not just to replace the grease, but also we need to inspect if there's already been any damage, because this is running with bad grease apparently for some time. We also need to make certain that no bits of kitchen tissue get stuck in the machine.
True.
That will not help.
Fire. Potentially.
No, I don't think fire is the issue, but it just with you know, the reason there's grease in there is that there's a lot of friction. And tissue does not do a lot against friction. That's why there's grease in there, not tissue. This is, so to speak, the powertrain of the thing. So there's a worm here, and this hooks into this bit. And there's a smaller pinion here, down there, and this drives the large gear. And this part here drives the gear for the attachments. So it's very simple. So the idea is to, you know, because the motor is rotating faster, you want to transform the power down to the speed down to a more 2 speed, that's better for low. It's also a fixed gear. It's not the gear in the sense that you would have a gear in the car or anything where you can actually change gears, because this is always the same. So instead of a gearbox, as you would have in a motor, you have a fixed gear, and the actual speed is regulated by the power you give to the motor. Which is simple and works, and so it's good, but it's also kind of stupid. Actually, going to take this little cover off. We just need to find the screws there. These two dirty ones. Yeah, you see, this is so liquidy that it starts dropping down, which is good. This is another part that is broken very often, and especially if there's not enough grease in there. This is a sacrificial gear. It's made from plastic. These are made from metal. When these get stuck because there's too much friction, for example, then this will break, and when this breaks, the motor can no longer transfer power to the rest of the gear. And so you save your gears or your motor or whatever. One issue, one problem with the grease is, have you ever tried to turn a screwdriver with greasy fingers?
Can I imagine?
Just slips away. I mean, you can see back here, and in theory, the gasket should have avoided that, but you see it's not really much of a gasket. And when we replaced this, we will not use the original grease, because you can see this is not particularly good. We will use a silicone-based grease that does not separate the parts, which they could have done all along, but choose not to.
Yeah.
Because
it's expensive, that grease, though, right?
It's expensive not to sell spare parts. And if you have a grease that doesn't break down, the consumption of spare parts will go down.
Makes sense.
There might be technical reasons, I don't know. I would say it's traditional. They use what they used to use. Does that make sense? I will not take this apart anymore, because I think this is clean enough. And I would again have to drive out a very small pin, which is very fitting. And I think this is I think I can get this clean without disassembling it completely. Or I could just put in another one and have a few. Grabbing bastards. I have an ultrasonic cleaner and I could drop this more, but I just don't know. That's I mean, I have to remove enough to make sure that it does not interfere with the new grease, but I think this looks pretty good. Oh, yes. Good. I don't know what getting grease everywhere, which is not so. Bad stuff out, good stuff in. Well, first bad stuff out. Yeah, a lot of things and craziness. I mean, it's not really a problem if the grease stays in there because there is nothing that actually needs to be greased in this.
Right.
But of course, it's more satisfying.
Right. Yeah, perfectionist. Right.
I mean, you can even see this is, since there's nothing to contain the grease, since it just floats around in the machine, even when it's not needed, there are pockets of grease that did not see any mechanical stress in there. You can see it's actually still quite the original color and everything. Where did that come from? We have to clean the whole machine. It probably would be better for the environment if I used cloth instead of just put on tissue.
I just want to take a quick second to pause. Off.
So, this is brought back together. Now comes the part that, strangely enough, I find the hardest. Because this pin needs to go back in there. And usually it does not exactly volunteer to go in. So there's a shaft, and the shaft is a hole, and the pin, makes sure that this thing can move in directions it should move. If you manage to get it in the correct orientation, and I think. The thing that makes this difficult is that it keeps moving. So there's probably a way to prevent that from happening, but I don't know. And I cannot really bang directly on this. Can I? No. And if this moves before the shaft, then it will just move away from the correct orientation where you can get the thing in the first place. That's what makes it difficult. This makes it so difficult that the last time we did this, I actually put in the pin off camera because it just wouldn't work. But since we want to make pasta with this in a minute, we don't have that luxury now, so we actually need to get it. fade in somehow. Could you come here for a moment? I have no reason to hide behind the camera. Just hold this. Just hold this so the thing cannot move around. Well, this time I don't even have to grease it. Excuse, I'm simply not sure what's the best way to do this. Probably there is a. If you work at KitchenAid, there's probably a special machine. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, you can. It doesn't have. No, sorry. The pin and I are not friends. No, I would not be friends with anybody who hits me on the head. Best would probably if you just did a grip laser. So, yeah. Whatever. As long as I'm gaining, I would like to for me. Maybe you can come around still and control the machines. Yep. Okay, that was the trick.
Okay, well there you go.
Make sure that the machine doesn't move away while you're hitting it. So, what the KitchenAid is just like Mortal Kombat. Just make sure he doesn't move away while you hit him. Sometimes I'm a bit annoyed that I was not a video game player when I was young because it means my cultural references are lacking on words. On the other hand, you can mostly pretend nobody's going to notice.
Yeah, nobody play on it.
So, now let's turn it. I mean, this even has the headlock still on it, which is really rare. Because this is such an unnecessary part. Because this is labeled in the It says black. Pretty sure. And it's probably blue up here. Okay, so this is black. Ugh. Which now means that we the greasy stuff now. wiped it off. And then see if we can put it back on, and then we're actually finished. We did it on. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, that's not celebrated.
But at least we do not have any half left, which is
Good sign.
a good sign, yes. Still might be that we're somewhat in the wrong order. Me. It's somewhat alike. So, looking good, right?
Yeah, looking good. Grease gives it a nice show.
You're re-greasing the machine. And now we've been looking for. Does this still make any noises? Does the will flow out the fuses? It doesn't sound really better, but.
Sounds like.
It sounds exactly like before, but
At least it's been greased.
so it has been greased, and we made sure that all the gears and with all. So this machine is now officially ready to make pasta.
Yeah, we'll do a little video when you make pasta. Well, great stuff. Well, there we go.
So and this one, so I think it's a good idea to use it, so we can actually see it.
Yeah, test it. Field test.
And then it will be sold off. It's a Christmas present.
Nice. Lucky
I mean,
on.
I liked it for completely self-serving reasons because, like I said, I need to get rid of a few first.
Yeah.
But I also just like, I mean, that's why I started fiddling around because I thought it was pity to throw this away.
Yeah, I agree. Right, well, thank you.
If you're okay with having a slight scratch or anything in the machine, then as far as security goes, it's a new one.
Well, as I say, we'll test it out very soon. All right.
First, let's clean up because it's messy, cannot cook.
Okay. Thank you, Eike.